Getting to know different company types is so crucial when someone wants to start a business. Choosing the right business registration is like picking the perfect brushstroke. It sets the tone for your entire entrepreneurial masterpiece. Remember, this isn't just about paperwork, right? It's about laying the foundation for a journey that will see you navigate triumphs, hurdles, build empires, and leave your mark on the world. So stay tuned as we will dive into South African business structure today. Hi everyone, welcome back to Brainmore Business Hub channel. My name is Molen, the Managing Director of Brainmore Chartered Accountants. If you are new, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification button and like and comment. Business type number 1 is your sole proprietorship. I can call this solopreneur. You and your business become one harmonious melody where your sweat and creativity fuel every note. Registration is a breeze, as you don't need to even register any form of business with the Registry of Companies, that is your CIPC. It's important to remember your personal assets become the instruments into the orchestra, meaning risks and rewards are intertwined. For this, think passionate creatives, freelance consultants, and independent craftspeople. Every note that they play echoes their own. That's sole traders. Let me talk briefly about the advantage. Simple and low cost, easiest and cheapest to set up, requiring minimal paperwork and no registration fee action. So you actually have full control, you have complete decision making authority and enjoy all profits by your own. It's flexible, no complex compliance requirements, offering agility or changing in your needs. But the disadvantage is, number 1, unlimited liability. Your personal assets are at risk for the business debts and losses. And also limited funding access. Raising capital can be challenging due to lack of separation from personal finances. Number 3 is the limited growth potential. Scaling up can be difficult due to individual limitation in skills and resources. So this is actually ideal for freelancers, independent contractors, and sole consultants. Small business also with maybe low risk and limited growth aspiration, individuals seeking complete control and flexibility. This is for you. Business type number 2 is your partnership. This is for those who find their rhythm in harmony. Partnerships offer a siphon of shared dreams. 2 or more people or musicians can come together, pulling their talents and weathering storms as one. The registration process involves crafting a formal partnership agreement outlining the responsibilities as well as the profit sharing. Because there are 2 or more people, the resulting melody is a powerful blend of diverse perspective and unwavering support, ideally for collaborative ventures where synergy is required. Think of cooperative, startup, or family kind of business. Partnerships have its advantages and also disadvantages. Advantage number 1 is the shared resources and expertise. Combining skills and resources strengthens capabilities and foster collaborations. Number 2 is profit sharing. Partners share profits and losses, distributing risk as well as the rewards. Number 3 is the flexibility, relatively uncomplicated setup compared to Pty or public companies. Disadvantages of partners: joint liabilities. Partners are jointly liable for debts and losses even if it's caused by one partner. Can you believe it? Potential disagreements, which is common. Shared decision making can lead to conflicts and decision parallelism. Complex in legal structure, you need to craft, partnerships and cover those disputes and all those other stuff. So this is ideal for collaborative ventures where shared expertise and resources are crucial, and for professional partnerships like law firms, medical practice, even accountants as well. This is very important. Business type number 3 is your private companies, your Pty Ltds. These are those who dream of soaring melodies played on a grand scale. This option offers a professional distinction, separating your business from your personal life, like a conductor leading a grand orchestra. Shareholders own shares, limiting their liabilities while a board of director guides the musical direction. Formal registration process is required, and you need to pay registration fees, and you can actually be recognized in the whole continent. It has its advantages and disadvantages as well. Advantage number one, limited liabilities. Shareholders' personal assets are protected from business debts and loss. I think that's the most important one. Number two is the professional image. It enhances the credibility and attracts investors compared to sole proprietors or partnerships. You have access to capital, easier to raise funds through loans or investments due to the established legal structure that Pty have. There are also disadvantages. It's more complex to set up. It requires formal registration process. You might need board meetings as well, and annual filings with SARS and with CIPC, and high administrative costs like your registration fee, your annual reports, your legal compliance, your accounting fees. All those are costs. It also have profit sharing limitation. Profits are distributed as dividends to shareholders, limiting direct access for owners. You want to touch and get as an owner, Pty, you can't do that. So this is ideal for growing business seeking professional image and investor funding. So if you want to venture with multiple shareholders and complex ownership structure, business aiming for long-term growth and expansion, Pty is for you. Business type number 4 for today is your incorporated, which is your personal liability companies. These are those that end with the word incorporated or with the suffix inc, INC. In such company, the past or the present directors may actually have held jointly in several liability with the company for any misconduct committed during their time of office. This type of company is generally opened by those who are opening professional practices, for example, your lawyers, us accountants, engineers, doctors, etc. and etc. Although the directors may be held jointly and several liable for the acts of the company during their time in the office, the owner of the company will not actually be held liable, and the owner also have the freedom to decide on the distribution of the profits made by the company, as personal liability companies are not as heavily regulated like other private companies. In incorporating a personal liability company, it must be stated in the company's MOI, Memorandum of Incorporation, that it is a personal liability company. This means that if the company cannot pay its debts, creditors can go after the director's personal assets to settle the outstanding amount. It's like your partnership kind of. So the advantages of an incorporated company: one is separate legal entity. A personal liability company is treated as a separate legal entity, separate from its owners or the shareholders. So number two, limited liability. Shareholders' limited liability is limited. They cannot be held accountable for the debts or action of the personal liability company. And number three is the sale of ownership. Transfer of ownership can be achieved with little regulation. And also what is important, unlike in partnership, is the lifespan. Personal liability companies are indefinite, which provide security to the owners of the company. If professional attorney accountants choose to conduct business as partnership, one partner dies or leaves, the partnership automatically dissolves, unlike the Inc. It is also flexible. The flexibility, the owners of personal liability companies are free to decide how they want to distribute the profits to the members of the company. Here are the disadvantages as well. Directors, not the shareholders. Directors' liability. Directors can be held personally liable for the debts and action of personal liability companies. And number two is the legal requirements. Personal liability companies are subject to many legal requirements and regulations which can be onerous. However, this can also be an advantage as it creates certainty within the organization. And the cost, whilst incorporating a personal liability company does not need to be expensive, it is more costly and regulated than establishing like your partnership or your sole trader. So this type of an entity is ideal for lawyers, your accountants, or your doctors, your engineers. So the professional industry. Business type number 5 is your public companies, your LTDs. These are those who envision their music echoing across the entire nation, perhaps even throughout the whole world. So raising capital through public share offerings fuels the grand expansions, but stricter regulations and governance requirements become the demanding conductor of this complex orchestra. So I'm going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages as well of public companies. Advantage number one, the large-scale capital raising, the ability to raise significant capital through public share offering for ambitious expansion. Number two is the public recognition and obviously and credibility. High visibility, brand recognition attract larger clients and partnership. Then the professional governance structure. Strict regulations and governance requirements ensure transparency and accountability. So the disadvantages are the highly complex regulations, extensive legal and compliance requirements demanding significant time and also resources. The public scrutiny. So these are the ones that you need to post your financials as well. So when I mean public scrutiny, it's increased media attention and potential for shareholder pressure. Loss of control. Founders may lose some control over decision making due to board and shareholder influence. So this is actually ideal for established business with ambitious growth plans requiring substantial capital, venturing or seeking public funding and widespread market recognition. So companies with complex ownership structure and diverse stakeholders, they have to actually form this one. Business type number 6 are your non-profit companies, your NPCs. These are those whose melodies carry a deeper message of social good. So the tax exemptions and funding opportunities actually empower your social mission, but specific registration processes and regulations ensure responsible governance. Think a conductor ensuring every node serves the greater purpose. Can you actually imagine NGOs creating ripples of change? Their music reaching hearts and transforming lives. That's NPC, non-profit making organizations. So the advantages of NPCs are as follows. Number one, the tax exemptions. They are eligible for tax exemptions on donations and certain income, reducing financial burdens. Number two is the funding opportunities, access to grants and donations from government, foundations, or foreign individual or even foreign entities. So number two is the social impact, dedicated to a social cause, contributing to a positive change in the community or the society for development purposes. The disadvantages are the limited profit distribution. So this is non-profit making. Profits cannot be distributed to members or shareholders, focusing on reinvesting into the social mission, because the mission is social. Strict regulations and reporting, specific governance requirements and compliance procedures to ensure transparent and responsible use of funds. Fundraising challenges sometimes. Securing consistent funding can be challenging, requiring effective fundraising strategies. This is ideal for social enterprises, charities, NGOs, organizations with a defined social mission. So if you want to make any impact, you need to go into the social impact, social mission. Remember, choosing the right business type is very crucial. It's a decision with a long-term impact. It's vital to assess your specific needs or your goals and resources that you need. Seek professional guidance from us as accountants or legal advisors for personalized advice and ensure your choice path empowers you. In conclusion, navigating the diverse landscape of South African business structure can feel somehow tiring or confusing, but remember, your entrepreneurial compass lies within, guided by your vision and ambition. By looking at the advantage and disadvantage of the structure that we've spoken about, you can actually see which one is ideal for your journey. So take a deep breath, trust your internal compasses, and choose the structure that resonates with your unique entrepreneurial melody. This is your story, your masterpiece, and the right business type will provide a pathway to the business growth that you so want. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and see you in the next video. Bye.